Alright, so just like I made the uh, longest day of the year video, this is the shortest day of the year video. And the first thing that I learned, well, I learned a few things. One of the things is my video cameras stink at nighttime, and so you can see it's kind of blurry, but that's okay, it gets better as it gets lighter. But one thing I liked is the moon was in the sky. I love how you're able to just track it. There was a point in this video where the battery died, and so I lost about 25 minutes of footage. And so, because I was going out every hour to restart it, and that way I could segment the clips. But, so let's talk about the shortest day of the year. You know, I did my video on the longest day of the year. I thought it was pretty fantastic. There is a vast difference between the shortest day and the longest day. The longest day seems to stay somewhat light, almost 24 hours. You get a couple hours where it gets a little bit darker, but there's some kind of light the entire day. In the shortest day of the year, you still get quite a few hours of light. Yeah. Now the sunrise and sunset times for our area is 10:15 a.m. is the sunrise and 3:40 is the sunset. So that's and in comparison, Salt Lake City, the sunrise is 7:49 a.m., sunset 5:04 p.m. So just a couple hours difference on both sides. It's not too bad. So the shortest day of the year, this video kind of covers it really well. I have a picture up that shows a little bit further north. You gotta remember, Alaska is a huge state. So we're talking a third of the size of the continental United States. And so when somebody says, oh, you live in Alaska, it's always cold, it's always dark, it's, you know, whatever they want to tell you. You gotta ask them which part are you talking about. That would be like somebody in Southern California comparing their state to Oregon, which is vastly different. And so Alaska has vastly different regions, different climates, different growing zones, everything. So I feel that we're in a really good position. I love this area. This area has everything you need, you know, so it's not like we're not out, we're not way out in the bush. If you want that, you're going to have to go further north. If you go further north, then yes, it will. In fact, I'll put up the difference, like the time difference. So the time difference, when you go further north, like in Fairbanks and beyond, you get a much shorter day on this day, just as you get much longer days during the summer. And so we are kind of, if you look at a map of Alaska, we are just right above Anchorage. So if you go to the middle and towards the bottom of it, that's where we're at. So you don't get the full-on 24-hour daylight, and you don't get the full-on 24-hour nighttime. So with our days shortened, it is kind of weird because since we live out of town a ways, when it gets dark, it really gets dark here. There is no city lights and such. And so when it gets dark, it gets dark. And so if you're going to go driving, like for me, I am kind of night blind, so you wouldn't want to be out driving past 4:30 in the evening, because about 4:30 is when it really starts to get dark. So one thing I could say about living here is that a lot of people that live here, I think, were just non-socials in the lower 48, and so they moved up here because this accommodates their non-social lifestyle. And so a lot of people here, they claim that Alaska's, that this area is out in the bush. It's so different than everywhere else. It's not. Okay, so like I said in my earlier video, the one about the extended daylight hours, you know, you go 15 miles that way, we've got everything that any other place has. We have Walmart, we have Fred Meyer, we have McDonald's, we have Wendy's, we have Taco Bell. That's one of the things that was kind of fun, was going to Taco Bell at midnight and it still being sunshine out in the summer. That was kind of cool. And so yeah, this is a different area, different kind of people, but it's not that different. So it's fun. We absolutely do still love it here. We've been here for now a year and a half, and we love this area. We love the area, our neighbors, our ward's great. You know, it's just kind of fun. The doctors that we've had, I need a lot of medical stuff, so the doctors we found though, I put them right on par with the ones we had in Utah. So I found some really good doctors. Really like them. The back doctor, I really like her. She was, you know, in Utah we had Batchison, and you know, here we found a doctor that she was really good and really nice. I like her. And the ENT doctor, we've absolutely fallen in love with her. She's amazing. You know, she did my ear tubes. I had not just ear tubes put in, but they went in and did it surgically. They stitched them into my ears, and so that way they wouldn't fall out. We would try to get them to last a little bit longer, because my body seems to be hard on everything I do. And so when I get something like that, the last ear tubes, they came out. They fell out. Now, what is interesting here, like going back to that picture of Fairbanks, I believe it is. I'm not sure. I'll look it up while I'm doing this. But the sun just kind of goes up and then back down. So here in Wasilla, kind of goes up and then back down. So we don't get that, we get that. So the sun is always out there in that direction. And it just kind of does this, I'm here, and then I go. And it's kind of weird because you're out driving and it's noon. And the sun is so low that it's just glaring at you. And, you know, it's kind of cool. But yeah, this is the shortest day of the year. It's not that bad. When we first moved here, we had a girl tell us, make sure you get vitamin D and make sure you have a place to go where you can exercise and make sure you can get out and make sure you can do things, because it gets depressing and it is so dark. And then, so about 4:30, you can see here, it just starts to get dark, and then it rapidly gets dark. It's kind of like 4:30 hits, that's your warning. It's like if you're not inside by then, it's going to be dark. And so, like I said, I'm kind of night blind as it is, so, you know, being out at night, it's kind of rough for me because I can't really see the road and stuff, so that's why Jen does all the driving. But as you can see, here we are 5 o'clock and it's dark, and then it just gets dark and it's done. So that was the shortest day of the year, and it really was not that bad. So I wish I could have made this more interesting. Wish I could have threw more out there, but that's all I got. So till my next video, have a good one.